My name is Quinn Davis. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and I'm here in West Hollywood right now, and I'm part of the Show Up Fitness internship. I'm coming up on the end of my second month, so finishing up the internship here soon, and it's been going fantastic. I've learned so much, and really what's helped the most is the hands-on learning and in-person learning, as opposed to just studying out of a textbook. I know for me that makes a big difference, and I think for a lot of other people too.
So let's learn about this client that you have. Tell us a little bit about him and that first workout that you designed, and take us through the progressions.
So I have a client he has very little experience with resistance training, and he wanted to train with me for 4 days a week. And so I'm taking him through all the basic movements: push, pull, squat, hinge, a mix of vertical push and vertical pull. And so we started off pretty basic, and then the idea is to progress as the weeks go on. And so I really wanted to even out the push and the pull, maybe put even a little bit more emphasis on the pull, because most of us always do everything in front of us. And so we've got here workouts 1 and 3. I made a little bit more upper body focus. 2 and 4 incorporated a little more lower body. And
what would you say is your typical pro? What were his main goals?
His main goals were typical male goals, which were to add muscle mass and drop body fat. He's a tall, lean guy naturally, so he's not trying to drop a lot of weight. He just kind of wants to change his body composition. And so Chris helped me make some adjustments. This was the original plan here. And then
what was your rep scheme with him?
Rep scheme, so since he's a beginner, very new to resistance training, we're doing pretty much 3 sets on everything with a higher rep range of 12 to 15 reps. Really get the strengthened tendons and ligaments.
So I like how on the first day, let's talk about bench press. Like, how much did you use with it? I know a lot of people will think 135 for a beginner, right? So take them through what you learned on that first workout and the other little things out there.
So what I learned is that although he had never he had very little experience touching weights, he was quite good at push-ups, and he had decent chest strength. So we actually didn't start with 135, which is what a lot of guys would throw on immediately. I had him go through first with just a 10 on each side, then a couple 10s, see how he handled that, because I knew that it could have been a little bit of a challenge for him to balance that weight. And we eventually progressed to 135. And so in this first workout, I realized he was very weak on the chin-ups, which is very common. Not very many people can practice chin-ups, especially these days when they don't have a gym to go to. And so that's an emphasis that's something that we're putting a lot of emphasis on, is working on his chin-ups. And
you told me something interesting about the second circuit. He started when doing those goblets into a face pull and a pail off. What did he experience?
When we hit this second circuit, so he was doing quite well on the first one. When we hit the second one, I noticed the fatigue really start to set in for him. And so on the goblets, I had to take down the weight significantly on the second set.
What'd you use?
With weight? I used, we started off with about a 35-pound kettlebell, had to drop it to 24, 25 pounds. And then eventually, actually on the third set, we went just body weight.
And did you have to take a glucose tablet or anything? Or?
Didn't have to take a glucose tablet, but, and that's because he really resisted it. I offered it to him, but we needed to take an extra long rest. I told him take deep rests, get sufficient water, and to let me know when he was ready to go again.
And as you progress through your workouts, how many times do you train him now?
Still training him 4 times a week.
How many sessions has he done?
He has done, he's done 5 sessions so far, so we've gone through 1 full week and started the second one.
So just the last little thing to talk about, I think is important, is how much more comfortable you're getting on that 5th session, that the warm-ups and just the fluidity of the workout is probably just flowing a lot better. You look at that 5th one versus the first one, what would you say is the biggest changes that you've noticed?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's been, and I've talked with him about this, there's been a major change in his progression. He's progressed a lot in terms of especially his stamina to get through the entire workout, and taking shorter rest periods. At first we had to take a little bit longer rest periods in between sets for him to kind of catch his breath. And so now we're able to move along much quicker. His strength has improved a lot, so we're doing heavier weight on pretty much everything, on all the main patterns. And along with that, he had quite bad just stability issues to start with. Still a long ways to go with that, but he's improved a ton so far, and especially with the unilateral movements, like lower body unilateral movements.
What's the biggest thing you've taken away from the hands-on learning?
I would say just that each client, each person is different, has different issues, and especially when you go from just training yourself for so many years, all of a sudden to working with people, you realize that they have issues that you had never maybe considered before and never had to deal with yourself. And it really challenges you, forces you to really think and come up with solutions and different variations of exercise to fit that client and with what their weaknesses are, and to help them in those areas.
I love Quinn because he has an awesome story how he came from ONNIT in Texas. He's doing our internship, and it just shows he's going to be really, really successful because the quest isn't just one internship and you're done. Where are you going next?
So in about a month, I'll be heading out to New York to learn from Pat Davidson at his gym called Hype in New York City, in Manhattan. So I'm very excited about that. And as Chris mentioned, I was at ONNIT before, took a lot of things away from there. I've taken a lot from here. Each teacher, each professor, instructor is going to have their different style and their different kind of biases, but and that's what's great about learning from different people, is you get different perspectives, and then eventually you can kind of formulate your own opinions on things and your own way of doing things. And so yeah, it's been awesome, and I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Perfect.